Huh?
Somebody excited about a Vestry meeting. Wow.
Something like that. I gotta check Priscilla, make sure they picked her up.
Hey.
That would be good.
10:15, right?
Hey, Kara, hey, Susan.
Yeah, hey, Father, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Glad to hear it.
What did I just do?
Soon as I'm done with you guys, I gotta put him down for a nap.
Uh-huh.
He's had his breakfast, he's played with his toys, he's got his,
I just went from YouTube.
Water.
I said, got it. And then all of a sudden I got this going on.
Okay, just close, go up to the X and close that, because you don't need to.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Priscilla,
Yeah, did you call me?
Yes, I know.
they pick you up
Yes.
yet?
They're gonna pick me up at 10 minutes to 11.
There we go. We're good.
11?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Appointment.
come on over here.
I said, "Are you sure that's enough time?" They said, yeah.
All right,
Good for your health.
Nice to.
all right, well, I'm just trying to get Vestry started here,
Yeah,
so
sure. Nancy, did you
I'll
have-
talk to you later. Yeah, pray the baby stays calm.
Yeah, just give them
Yeah,
things.
and I'll turn this around. Father Paul's babysitting
Right.
his grandson. He's saying hello to all of us.
I see Bob, that's all I see.
What to tell you? There's Joanne and Richard.
Hey, guys.
There's Mary Ann and Marge.
Hey,
and Joanne and Peter.
okay.
And our guest already arrived for Team Life. Our guest speaker.
And Dottie's not able to be here today?
No, she's at the hospital with Bill.
Okay, well, that's a good place for her to be.
Right.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
I'm sure he does also. She is available by phone if we need her for a vote or anything like that.
Do we have a quorum? Who's to my right?
To your right is Peter. 1, 2, 3, 4,
The
5,
Peter-
6, 7. There's 7 of us here right now. 8 with Richard.
Well, then, and I count, so I think we've got a quorum already.
Yes, I believe we do.
I don't have minutes. Could you take a picture of the minutes and send them to me?
Okay. It is on your email, but I know
Oh, is it on my email?
it's on your email. Yeah, we got it last week. I don't
Okay.
remember which day. I'll say Thursday, Wednesday, something like that. Tuesday.
No, we got the minutes. I've got the minutes. I'm talking about
The
the
agenda.
agenda.
Okay. Can you help me, Bill, to take a picture of that and send it to him? The agenda. Thanks.
Yeah, I already printed it out and read it. Only the second time I've got it read before I got to the meeting.
Mhm. Hi, how you doing? Good. You made it all right?
Oh, yeah. It was
Very good. Fantastic. We're just starting the meeting, so if you just want to sit down a second, then we'll get to you as soon as we can.
Does our guest have a time
You
restraint?
have a time frame that you have to be, somewhere?
Well, I thought I was gonna start around 10:15, 10:20.
Okay, he
Yeah.
thinks 10:15, 10:20. He was gonna start with
Okay,
us.
we'll get through the basics and then we'll go right to him.
Sounds good.
Bill, are you sending an email or are you sending an IM?
Yes.
Text.
Okay,
Should have it.
got it. Upside down.
It's upside down?
That's okay, I'll just turn my phone over.
Oh, well. You're supposed to stand on your head, Father Paul,
All right. But we got a quorum, so let's get started. The Lord be with you.
and also with you.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, be with us as we go about the business of your church. And most importantly, today, help us to remember the needs of our members in terms of their health and the situations that they find them in so frequently because of our age group. We ask you to bless them, to keep them safe, but also allow us the opportunity to improve their odds of being kept alive and recovered should some serious incident happen in the church. Bless those who are already sick and in the hospitals, especially Bill. Bless Dottie as she takes care of her husband, and see that we have a productive and healthy discussion today in our meeting. These things we pray in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Okay, you all have the agenda and any additions, deletions, or corrections?
I'd like to suggest that we change the agenda to put our desk at the top and move everything else down.
Do we have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Okay, in that case, following the new agenda, it's time for us to have our presentation.
All right. Last month, we had talked about having an AED. This is a device that helps if somebody collapses and you have minutes to save a person's life. And we don't have any of that equipment here, but we certainly have a lot of people that use the facility. In my village, we have two of these, one by our pool and one by our clubhouse. So I reached out to Team Life, that is the company we use. And I asked if he could bring us a device to show us how to do it so we can demonstrate. So if you want to go ahead,
Can I go over there if you don't mind?
you go wherever you are comfortable.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
It's Paul, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's-
Stephanie, could you aim the camera at him for me?
The Paul, it's Paul.
Yes, I said, could you aim the camera at Paul for me?
I will.
Thank you.
What's his last name?
I don't remember. George looking up. Paul, what's your last name, please?
Logan, Logan.
Logan? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can you give me a second one because Father Paul is joining us on Zoom today?
I don't.
Okay, thank you.
You just, and then I can leave.
Hi, Father.
How are you? You got a good name, Paul.
Yeah, folks. Thank you. Thank you all for having me. I'm Paul from Team Life. You know, I appreciate a few minutes of your time. I know you guys are busy. You come to have a meeting today, so I appreciate that. This is a little bit about Team Life, what we do, what we sell. On the back, some very, very important statistics that Stephanie did mention very briefly, but there's 365,000 sudden cardiac arrest per year. Okay, now everybody talks about car accidents and everything else, but this happens year after year after year. Thousands of patients per day. So if I'm here a half hour, 10 to 15 people will die of sudden cardiac arrest, just as we're standing over. Very, very important number. 80% happen outside the hospital. And if you're not treated within 3 to 6 minutes, more than likely it's not going to be a good outcome. Okay, so we always have that rule, that 90-second rule, which means that 90 seconds to get the AED, 90 seconds to come back and put the pads on, God forbid, of sudden cardiac arrest. Now, faster than that is better, but no more than that. It shouldn't be able to happen. It's good to know. I mean, keep it. When I come in and talk about this AED, it does everything for you. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you anything that this AED is gonna do a better job than me explaining about it. Okay, what I like to do is to make sure that everybody is prepared, God forbid, something happens. Everybody needs to know in your whole church and wherever you may live, where the unity is. Believe it or not, you go into organizations and you have a meeting, you're sitting there with the board, and all of a sudden, I ask the question, where's the AD? And people will turn around and say, some people won't even know where I went to New York Times building in New York City, and I would say there's 40 people in the room, not one person in that organization, except the person who put the AEDs up, knew where the AEDs. And they all went for CPR class that day. So again, it's important to know where the AED is. Now, once you know where the AED is, you have to have a plan. Okay, so certain people in your organization hopefully have taken CPR classes, and if you haven't taken CPR class, that's fine. But it's good to be trained. Okay, God forbid something happens, you're ready to go if an event happens. You have to know where the AED is. Somebody falls, somebody's getting the AED, somebody's taking care of the patient that's on the floor. Okay, somebody's calling 911 immediately. Okay, every second matters. So you're calling 911, getting the AED. Now, when somebody's on the floor and you don't know if it's sudden cardiac arrest or not, if they're dead, they're dead. Okay, so well, how are you? Look, if they have no response whatsoever, you have to start doing CPR. Okay, you're going to get the AED, you're calling 911. Somebody's outside, say in a building like this, there's probably not many entrances that you come in, so the ambulance probably knows where to go. Okay, but if you're in your home or in a community where an ambulance is coming in, they don't know. You have to make sure there's direction coming in every second, every minute counts. Okay, and I can't say it enough. Every second, every minute counts, because when this happens, if you don't do it right away, if people were football fans saw what took place on a football field with DeMar Hamlin, okay, if you don't have somebody there taking care of this, it's not going to be a good outcome. So again, 90 seconds to get the AED, 90 seconds back. CPR is very difficult to do. Okay, anybody that has performed CPR, go to the class, do it for 2 minutes. It's very, very difficult. So I can look around the table here. We're all, I'm 63 years old. Okay, so after 2 minutes, you're tired. You want to have a team, a couple of people rotating back and forth, making sure that after you're doing the 30 compressions and able and willing, 2 breaths, you can switch off after 2 minutes. Hello, buddy. Hello. So yeah, you're gonna 30 compressions, 2 breaths. Okay, so and then you do it again. Now this AED, it checks your impedance. Now I'm a 200-pound person. Okay, you're a 100-pound person. Okay, so my shot is not going to be the same as your shot. Okay, I'm going to get a heavier shot than you. Okay, this AED has escalating energy, so it's going to go up as needed. Hopefully, you only need 1 shot, but if needed, I might go 2 or 3 shots. What does everybody see about this AED that's pretty big and stand out? What do you see on it? Anybody? Color. The AED one. Yeah, on.
A heart and something going through it.
It's got an arrow.
No.
Show you how to.
Like that green rescue ring.
Yeah.
Green rescue ring. This AED checks itself every day, checks itself every week, and checks itself every month. It checks for placement of pads, placement of battery, and intracirculatory, making sure that if God forbid somebody has sudden cardiac arrest, this AED is ready to perform. Now what do we see?
Red light.
Red
Red
X. That means there's a problem with the AED. Okay, that means the AED is not ready to perform. So when you have a G5 AED, you want to make sure that this AED is always ready to perform. This AED checks itself. It's one of the most, it's up-to-date technology of any AED on the market. Back to the green rescue ready. Okay, The batteries are 4-year batteries, they're medical grade. The electrodes, which are the pads, they're 2-year, 2 years. Now they're a water gel base. So that means that after a couple of years, it kind of like dissolves a little bit. So that's why they're 2 years, you have to have it for 2 years. And then after that, you have to, renew the pads, get new pads. So warranty on the AED is 8 years. AED is good for 8 years now. Most of our, this AED now is going into its 8th year. Most of our customers, the G3 model, which was prior to this, they keep it for 3 battery cycles. So starting around year 10 is where you need to think about replacing. Now, some people replace it after the warranty. We don't, we tell customers, because it's a financial thing, right? It costs money. So we say after the 3rd battery cycle, anything over 10 years is something where this is a life-saving device. You have to make sure that it's ready to perform. So we always say after 10 years, or sometimes, it's time to replace. Couple of reasons why you want to choose this AED. Rescue ready, which I just went over very quickly with you. Okay, re-indicating light. Simplicity. It texts you, it voice you. If you can't hear, you can only see is text message. If you can only see and you can't hear, it has it's the opposite. So voice message and text, it's user pace. So as fast as you go, as fast as the AED is going to move. So if I have an EMT that knows exactly what they're doing, they're taking the pads out. But you never used this AED before, never used it, never seen it. You open this AED up, it's going to be able to walk you through everything you need to do to save somebody's life. Okay, that's the key. So nobody needs to be nervous. Nobody needs to panic. Okay, if somebody goes down and somebody has sudden cardiac arrest, the worst thing you could do is nothing. The best thing you could do is maybe break a rib, okay, and do compressions a little harder than you're supposed to do, okay, but you save somebody's life, okay. This AED will not shock you unless you're dead. You got to be dead to get shot, okay. And the only way you come back to life from sudden cardiac arrest is with an AED. There's no other way you can do it, okay. So if you're dead and you have sudden cardiac arrest, an AED is the only way you're going to come back to life. Okay, they have to shock. Advanced technology, I told you about the escalating energy, where it goes up as needed. Okay, it measures your impedance. So the pads are going to tell you where to put the actual picture on the pads. Going to show you exactly where to put the pads. Okay. And these pads are not polarized, which means you can put them on either side, okay? And then once the pads are on, the AED checks its impedance to see what type of shock, if a shock is needed at all. Okay, it will do that. Now, if a shock is needed, it gives you time to get away. So it's not like you're standing here, the shock is given and your hands are touching. And that doesn't happen, okay? It's going to count down, it's going to tell you when the shock is needed. We have ICPR pads. Now, the ICPR pads is a new technology. Zoll products are the only ones right now that are one of the only ones right now that are have this sensor pad. It's a sensor pad that has sort of like a hockey puck. Okay, it goes between the 2 nipples, and what happens is that when you're doing CPR, if you're not doing CPR correctly, it will tell you to go deeper, go slow, go faster. Okay, it counts down for you. So if you're doing something wrong, hopefully it will correct you the right way to get you to do correct CPR. Okay, that's very, very. If there is a cardiac event and the doctor needs to know what took place, there's a USB port in here that you can put a thumb drive in and put it in and download it, and you can send it to our office and we'll come and walk you through the process.
Sorry.
So So it's very important to understand that, if something happens with one of somebody we know, or something happens here, we're here, we support it. It's a very tough event. Even if it's a large save, it's a very tough thing to get all that information and for the person to do it. It takes some, to walk through the process. And I don't want to underestimate that. Now, I'm going to be doing just a little demo here, just to show you how the AED works. There's going to be some moving parts here. I'm going to be using a simulator, which is going to make a person a human being for a few seconds. I'm going to use demo pads, so I don't have to open up a new pair of pads every time I do it. So I'm using demo pads, and I'm going to be taking wires in and out. Not the real case when it's a real life situation. So I'm just trying to make this a little real so you can see how the AED performs and how it walks through the process.
Stephanie,
Any questions?
Stephanie, will you highlight Paul for me so that I get a bigger
Any
screen?
questions, Bob?
Yeah, here's a question. I'm sorry, Father Paul, repeat.
It wasn't a question. I said, would you please highlight Paul so that I can see him better?
I don't know how, what. You
Yes.
understand?
Ask Susan to show you.
Yeah, but I don't know what.
Can you see me? That's-
I can see you, but not well enough. I'm asking her to do what's called a highlight so that you fill my whole screen instead of me seeing two
I
things.
don't know how to do that. Anybody know how to do that? Highlight?
Don't even know what you're talking about.
How do I do that?
Yeah. In church.
You could move that table closer. Maybe
You want to move this over closer to
see.
We can move it over closer.
Bill, just highlight it.
I am.
Table closer.
Yeah, no, I can move the computer
There's
closer.
no choice for that.
Well, this way, everybody.
I was trying to spotlight it, Father.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, there's no choice.
That's
no
what I
choice.
said. I don't know how to do that,
Jeez,
but I could move this closer.
There's no choice for spotlighting it.
No, but I can move this closer.
All right, I'll move it closer. Yeah, there's no choice for a spotlight.
Oh, he's got a front row seat.
Is that okay?
That's fine with me.
Aim it down lower, Stephanie,
Lower?
lower. That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so again, like I said, there's gonna be a lot of moving parts, so you're gonna be moving things in and out. It's just to make the mannequin alive for a few seconds. This is a ready kit. This ready kit comes with the AED. In a ready kit is scissors, a mouth CPR mask if needed, and wipes, and so you, God forbid, you have to clean it or shave somebody's chest, you can do that also. So the most important thing to know is safety, okay? So whenever you're cutting, using a scissor, you never want to use it ever coming towards your body, right? You always want to use everything going away from your body, okay? So same thing here, okay? Somebody goes down, we're not sure what happened. We want to make sure that this person has some type of vital sign. So we're gonna go over, shake the person, you okay, you okay, you okay. Okay, nothing comes out of it. We're going to get the AED. We got the AED is here now. We open the AED up and listen to what the AED says, the first thing.
Stay calm. Follow these instructions. Make sure 911 is called
You have
now.
any speaking people here? Okay. if
Begin
you
by
did,
exposing. Comience por descubrir
It
el
does
pecho
change
del
the Spanish
paciente.
right away,
Quite
just by
porque la ropa.
touching.
Begin by exposing patient's bare chest. Remove
Okay,
or touch
so
clothing if
again,
needed.
you okay, cut away, always cut away, rip
When
open.
patient's
If
chest
the
is bare,
bra is in the
remove
way,
white
rip the
square
bra
package from
off.
the lid of the
It's the
AED.
most important thing is to make sure you can get the
Tear
pads
open
on the
white
chest.
package across
Okay,
dotted line.
again, I'm
and
using the
remove
demo
pads.
pad. Okay, these
Peel one
pads
of
have
the
been
white
used
pads
before.
completely from blue plastic.
It tells
Begin
you
pulling from the
exactly
tabbed
where to
corner.
put the pads. Okay, I'm taking the
Peel
real
one
pads
to make
out
sure pad
and
connector
I'm
is
putting
plugged
in the
into
demo
AED.
pad now. It's gonna repeat
Make
itself
sure
because I
pack
just took
again
the
by
pads out.
exposing patient's bare chest.
If you
Remove
look
or
at it,
cut clothing if
Tells you
needed.
exactly where to put it. You can put the pad on either side.
When patient's chest is bare, remove the white square pack. Firmly place the pad without the blue plastic on patient's bare
It tells
chest.
you
Exactly
where
as
to
shown
put it.
on pads. This pad can be placed on either of the two locations as shown on pads. Next, peel second white pad from the blue plastic.
tells you where to put it.
Firmly place the second pad on the other location.
Okay, now I'm gonna
exactly as
take the
shown on
pads out
pads.
and put the simulator in. Okay, the
Firmly place
simulator,
the second pad on the other location exactly as shown on pads.
use a pace. It's not going to the next step.
Firmly place the second
until
pad
I
on the other
do
location.
the
Make
next
sure
step.
pad connector is plugged into AED. Do not touch the
Now
patient.
it's checking the patient.
Analyzing heart
Is
rhythm.
that the
Please
AD's
wait.
analyzing.
Do not touch the patient. Analyzing heart rhythm. Shock advised. Do not touch the patient.
When they
Shock
say
will
that,
be delivered
All
in
clear, stay
3,
out, move.
2, 1.
A shock is,
Shock delivered.
okay.
It is now safe to touch the patient. Remove green square package from lid of AED.
This is the green package.
Tear
This
open
is what's
green
in there.
package and remove CPR device.
Come on over. Oh, yeah.
Place CPR device
On
on
the other
center of patient's chest between nipples. Place heel of one hand on CPR device. Place heel of other hand directly on top of first hand. Lean over patient with elbows straight. Press the patient's chest down rapidly, 1/3 the depth of chest. Then release. Give patient 30 rapid compressions and 2 breaths. Start CPR. Press, 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 press.
She's doing good.
Press, 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 press. Stop compressions. Give breath.
2 breaths. That's it.
Give breath.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Continue
now.
with compressions. Press, 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 press harder and fully release.
Okay.
Press, press, press,
If-
press.
if the
press,
AED is
press,
not-
Press, 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 press.
Good job, thank you. That was perfect. It didn't correct itself. Now, sometimes on a table, it's not the best reading. You gotta really do it on the floor. But as you can see, your name is, I'm sorry.
Susan.
Susan did, she probably was trained. She knew what she was doing with the compressions. So, and was that just doing one set of compressions?
That was about enough.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So you have to make sure you have a
Really was,
double.
because you have to, you're pushing down. And you also have to keep breathing yourself. You can't hold your breath while you're doing it.
Yeah,
But that's your first instinct, is to hold your breath.
so I'm glad that I always like somebody to touch, because then they get to feel what really takes place, because me doing it, it doesn't get people involved, and she can exactly say it to what took place here. Thank you. Any questions on anything? Any questions? Okay, well,
I want you to reiterate. The machine will not shock a person unless they need it.
will not shock a person what you need. A shock is only going to be given to a dead person. They have to get the shock to get alive. Okay, a shock will not be given to somebody. I can never be shocked. You can never be shocked. We're alive. If we're dead, it will shock. Okay, and when I come in, I look for metal. I look for water. You don't want to obviously have somebody by water. You don't want to have somebody on metal. Okay, we look pretty good right here. Okay, so that's some of the things I look for when I'm doing a presentation. The biggest thing I could tell you is that the AED does everything for you. It's the other things, the human things that people have to be aware of. And that's the calling 911, getting the AED, crowd control. Now, crowd control, when I say crowd control, because sometimes when somebody goes down, right away, there's a mob that comes over. Okay, nobody wants to be, see somebody, God forbid, they're dead on the floor. You want people to move away, clear out. The people that know what they're doing, let them do their job. Okay, and you should probably have a team together that goes over, just like a fire drill, practice for an AED. Okay, and that's all that stuff is important. And I can't say it enough. Every second counts. And without having the AD on somebody, it's not a good outcome. Ambulance down here, I don't know what the time is. I know we are in Colts Neck, we're in Monmouth County. It's anywhere between 10 and 14 minutes, I would say, on average, to get here. I don't know if it's quicker down here, but
About a mile from us. and
So
they're
you're-
usually pretty
you're
fast.
pretty good then, okay, and that's good. You know, if they get here within 5-6 minutes, that's good, not great, but it's good. I mean, like I said, within 3 minutes is really the way you want to be.
Where would you suggest that we would locate?
This is it?
No, this is
No,
we have the churches and we have a hallway and then the church on the other side.
I would suggest that anywhere you could be to the AD and back in 90 seconds, that's what I would suggest. And wherever you have the most people at that, most of the time, that's what I would suggest that the AD should be, yes. But you want to try to make sure that it's 90 seconds there and 90 seconds back. Yes, ma'am.
Doing that harm anybody who has a pacemaker or.
Good point. No, it will not. Okay, that's a very good question. And when I've only been doing this for 3 years. And that was one of my questions that I asked. I worked on Wall Street for 26 years, 27 years. And I always thought, you know, metal, yeah, you have to put it away. The pads can't be on the metal, has to be a little bit away, but yes.
Would the other device tell us when we need more pads?
No, if you use the pads, you got to replace the pads, okay? And if you don't use the pads, this AED will beep and it will tell you that the pads need to be replaced. And on the AED itself, it tells you when the pads expire. Okay, so there's an expiration date on the screen.
Could you tell us the cost for this item?
It's over 1,600. 16, yeah, over 1,600, 1,695, I think. And the pads are the regular adult pads are $79. I'm not sure. We just had a price change in April. That's why I'm not 100% accurate on you know, fluent on the pricing. The battery's over 400 and the ICPR pad is over 200.
How many pads can you have?
I'm sorry.
How many pads?
Well, you would get just the one ICPR pad that comes with it, and that's including in the price. But when you some people have a spare pad, you know, 99% of these AEDs are never used, and I hope they never get used. Okay, so they're, you have to make sure they're kept up. If they're there and they're used, I have a lot of customers that have used them, and a lot of customers, in my case, a lot of good outcomes. So, but there's a lot of people that have never used their AED. So that's but if you don't have one, there's not,
In our clubhouse, the one in the clubhouse, I don't believe it's ever been used, but the one what happened is, we had a person collapse at the pool. And this was inside, and the people around the pool at the time had no idea what to do, where this was located, none of this. And so that's why we decided to buy a second one, and we put it right near the pool area. And we offer CPR courses from time to time to update people. That man had a heart attack and he died. But I don't know.
He would have been shocked
if he
anyway.
saved his life because he was already.
Yeah, he
kinda
would,
like
if he had a heart attack, it's totally different than
Right.
sudden cardiac arrest, okay?
Right.
I even know when you listen to TV, they say heart attack all the time, it's totally different. Heart attack's a plumbing issue, okay? Sudden cardiac arrest is an electrical issue. And the only way you come back to life is by getting the electrical currents
Right.
correctly. I'm not a doctor, I'm just
Right.
repeating what I've learned, that's all. So,
If we wanted to buy one of these, what do we do?
well, I would send you a quote, you would approve the quote, and then from that point on, it would take probably 3 to 4 months to get the AED. We're backlogged. I could send you a loaner down if you want a loaner. You would need a wall case or at least a cabinet to put it in.
Right.
That would be it.
Do you supply that too, or?
We have cabinets, yes, we have cabinets. Cabinets are about $170 each, I think.
Anybody have any other questions?
Is there
Any questions?
is there a payment plan or does it have to be cash?
You have 30 days to pay. If there's an issue with the payments, I could work something out for you. I mean, that's, we deal with a lot of churches. We really cater to, I was I was athletic director of St. Clement's for many years, diocese of Trenton. And we have a lot of churches that come through us. And if you need, we understand it's a lot of money. And and sometimes the funds aren't there because, you have other things to go. But yes, we can work something out.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
You install that if they have a pole.
What?
If you check, then they have a pole. If you put that
No.
on anyway.
No, they have to be
Right.
dead. Yes, yeah. And again,
They
to answer your
collapse
questions,
around
you're
the-
not a doctor, I'm not a doctor. If I see somebody down, I'm not sure, what do? Put the pads on. Because it won't shock them. Okay, if you're not sure, but if you know there's definitely a pulse, they're not dead. But if you're not sure, put the pads on because it's not gonna shock them. And you better be safe than sorry.
I had CPR training before. You always check the pulse. check
Yes.
the breathing.
Yeah, and then, you know what, they still tell you to do that, but sometimes people aren't good at it. Okay, so I take CPR once a year.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not.
And they
in
change
field-
it all.
Every 5 years they change it, you're right. So I'm not, I did my class in January. I probably forgot 50% of the stuff that went on in the class. I mean, because you're not doing it every day.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna harm you. That's the key. All right, thank you for your time. I don't want to. Well, it's important. I don't, I can email you any information. Did you see my video I sent you? Okay, I'll send you a video of which they do 100% better job than I did. But there's a video in there. The video is good and it'll walk you, it'll show you things. I'll send you some spec sheets and stuff so you can do some research on. Yeah, no, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. I wouldn't have sent you spec sheets. I would have sent you just the video. I don't even know if I did, Stephanie, so. Okay, so I'll send you all that and so you have it and you can all review it. Father can look at it and see what you like. Well, thank you for a few minutes and
Thank you, Paul.
thank you, sir.
It's like the back. That would be just fine. Thank you.
I'll send that stuff over to you.
All right, thank you, appreciate that. All right, and then I'll see you.
Is Jerry with us today?
No, she is not. She texted me last night that she wasn't up to coming and she asked what she should do. And I suggested that she prepare a report that we would get like next Sunday because she didn't have time. Jerry went to Florida to help a friend and she came back and she had some upper respiratory thing and pneumonia. So she didn't make it to church yesterday. So we did meet as a finance committee and she needed approval of the budget, but we don't have copies of it.
Well, we'll have to do that next Sunday too.
Well, I would say just pass over her report for now and Well, she'll just have to give us paperwork when she's up to it.
Is there anything else
Cruise it
scheduled
at
next?
another time.
Is there any other events scheduled next Sunday?
I don't think so.
Then what I think we ought to do is schedule a short vestry meeting at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. And ask everyone to be there to deal with the finances.
Okay, sounds good.
It's important we have the numbers and know what's going on and everything else that she needs to present to us.
Thank you so much, Paul. Have a safe trip.
Can I have a motion for a meeting next Sunday?
Motion for a meeting.
9 o'clock Sunday morning.
Father Paul suggested next Sunday we have a short vestry meeting relating just to the finances at 9 a.m. So I'm just, making the motion so we can get the process started.
Do we have a second?
Who seconded it? Bob?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's okay. You're allowed to say if you don't like the idea.
Well, we have to know what the finances are, so.
I know, and it makes sense that we do it in between the two services. That limits the time for the meeting. And it also lets people come in ahead of the 10 and after the 8. So, okay, that's good. So ordered. Next thing on the agenda,
You have to approve the minutes.
Yeah, approve the minutes.
we didn't do that? Okay, sorry.
No,
Trying to find my
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
child in my chest.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Okay,
Which report?
It's your turn, Father Paul.
okay. Well, Easter was great and everything went well. My time with my son was productive. And when we got back, we got to the parochial report, which is ready to be submitted. We're going to do that tomorrow morning. And I also got there's a woman, and the name is, who's the woman at the diocesan house that I told you was helping me, Steph?
Pat?
Yeah, Pat Higgins. She actually put together our rector's salary report that has to go into the diocese. And if we don't get it in, they don't let us vote at the next special convention.
Right.
So she got it together. She sent it to me. I'll review that with you tomorrow.
Good.
And as long as everything's all right, she said she'll submit it for us.
Wonderful.
She's
What
been
report
very
was it?
helpful.
It's a financial report for the rector's salary report. It has to be included.
Clergy salary report. So anybody who gets paid that's a cleric has to submit it, a record of what's been done. We didn't do it for years because we weren't following the rules and I wasn't taking enough money and all that kind of stuff. And when they found out what was going on, I told you last time, they dropped the hammer and said, you're going to submit it and you're going to do it now. So, and now that's why we had to do the 5% increase this year, because that's considered a minimum increase for clergy. But when we send it back to her, the only thing we'll do is show her the 5% increase. She'll submit the report and everything will be fine. So I'm glad we were able to do that. Okay, what else?
Blessing of the bikes.
Well, no.
It's under your report.
It is under mine. Well, I don't know a thing what's going on. I
Okay.
believe it or not, I haven't.
He's gonna do the blessing, but that's it.
That's it. Well, we
Yeah.
know you're blessing them.
And I'm gonna bring the propane and I'm gonna bring the t-shirts and the trophies and all that stuff, but
Oh, good, great.
so it's all going very well. The committee is handling it in a way that when I do retire, you'll be allowed to, not allowed, but you'll be able to continue the practice with your next clergy person. And I think that the diocese would not object if you invited me back to help with the blessing, just as a guest priest, and that would help bring some of the bikers back too. But that's all way ahead of us. So what else? There was something else and I'm
How
trying.
about you wanted to do another Bible study? People are asking when and what.
Well, I haven't got a model for that yet, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know, and it'll be probably about a 6 or 8 week study. I don't want to make it too big, so people are still willing to participate. But there was something else I'm trying to remember. My schedule this week. Today, I'm like, because of my wife's medical appointment, I had to take care of the grandson, which he's now literally asleep on my chest. Tomorrow, we do the parochial report. We'll look at the clergy compensation report. And tomorrow evening, I have to be, I think it's at 3 or 4 o'clock, I have to be in, oh, where is it?
Stone Harbor.
Yes, Stone Harbor for a convocation meeting of the clergy, a clericals meeting. And then on Wednesday, we're going to visit
Janet and Fred Stevens.
Fred Spieth, and also Bernice and Irving Newman for personal visits and communion. I only get to see them once a year, but they're still very much a part of the congregation. They pledge and they attend worship through YouTube and Zoom. So they need to have a personal visit. Susan's going to go with me on that one, so that I have somebody to drive and navigate with me and stuff like that. Thursday's the healing service, and Saturday is the legacy event, right?
Yes, that is correct.
And I'm supposed to be a presenter at that, but I still haven't been told what to present. So I'll need to work on that Thursday afternoon so that I know what I'm doing. Other things. Can't think of anything else right now. Counseling goes well with the folks that I'm counseling, and visitations have been to the hospitals have been up a little bit, and with Barbara and with Bill and with some of the other folks who've Marge McCartney was in the hospital again. Now
Right.
she's in the Pines now with the supervised nursing. And but she should be able to get back to her regular apartment before too long.
What about Sheila? She's not with us today.
I hadn't heard. Maybe when the
Last I
meeting,
heard, she was in Aristocare in Manchester.
well, that was supposed to be temporary, but
Right,
if she's still there, that accounts for her not being present with us.
right.
It was strictly a rehab setting.
Do you want to speak about Barbara Marshall?
Oh, yes, like that's probably appropriate. Barbara Marshall informed us last week that she is physically and sometimes even mentally unable to fulfill her role as a vestry member. She's very disappointed about that, but her blood disease has become very advanced and is causing her great angst. And she's been in and out of the hospital. She's now at home with nursing care every day. And she said she's forced to resign her position. Having been informed of that, the first thing I do always is go back to the elections and try and find out who someone ran against. But she didn't run against anybody this time. But the person who was thinking about it was Richard Smithson. And so I asked Tom, are you there, Tom?
No, he's not a member of the vestry at present.
Well, anyway, I asked Tom to go talk to Richard and to ask him if he still had an interest in being on the vestry, to which he responded positively. And so I'm making that the appointment to fill Barbara's position will be Richard. And I'm glad to have him back on the team, and looking forward to all kinds of good stuff. So you want to say anything, Richard?
No.
That, see, it was really safe for me to ask because I knew you wouldn't want to, and anyway, point is, we're glad to have Richard there. He is now officially a member, and he's fulfilling an unexpired term. So this will not count against him if he wants to run again next year. He'll still be able to take a 2-year
Right.
term. Okay,
Now that Richard is in place, will we be able to install and all the people from, the annual meeting usually do a special blessing and service, part of one of the services?
we can do that. Easter's a good time to do it anyway, because it's a positive thing. So, why don't you talk to me about that tomorrow?
All right, we'll talk
Amongst the
tomorrow.
other issues we have to deal with. And we'll get some invitations sent out to everybody for the date and the time and all that.
It sounds good.
Okay,
Sounds good.
so aside from that, my wife's health is not what I wish it was. And she's dealing today with the insurance company that handles our disability insurance through the Social Security people. And she has had a really serious breathing problem. Yesterday, we actually ended up running to urgent care because she said, I don't feel right. And she said, so we took her temperature and she didn't have a fever, and we checked her pulse and her heart was a little high, and we checked her oxygen level and she was only at 60%.
Oh, my God.
And that was because the lungs just weren't getting the oxygen to her bloodstream. So by the time we got to urgent care, of course, the way everything goes, if you have you're going to see your dentist for a toothache, the toothache stops hurting before you go through the door. Well, she was back up to 95% by the time we got there, but that was almost a half an hour to recover. And they said it probably has something to do with the cough that she has, and it probably has something to do with the blood clot that's in her lungs and all the other stuff. But it was a real scare. I got to tell you, I was not feeling very
Mm-mm.
blessed at the moment we were driving to the doctor. But anyway, so she's doing her best, and
Mhm.
your prayers are coveted. And you all know, most of you know what it means to have a sick spouse. And I've got a really sick one right now. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your understanding about taking care of the baby for her so she could go to her appointment, and
Yeah.
let's see what we can do later.
You're welcome, Father Paul.
All right, well, motion to accept I need a motion to accept my report.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
All opposed? So ordered. Now it is Stephanie's report.
Right. Back to the gentleman that was just here, Paul Logan. I don't know if we want to make a decision today on purchasing this item, because as he said, there's a 3-4 month delay. The ECW could fund the 1695 and the case that is needed, if you would like that. So I don't know if you want me to make a motion, I would do so to buy one.
Make a motion to discuss.
Well, I'm making a motion, then somebody needs to second.
Second.
Okay, now it's time for discussion. If people have questions or thoughts or want to say anything about it, this is the time to do it. This is according to Robert's rules. It's time for discussion. So if you have questions, ask them, please.
Anybody have any questions or want to discuss it?
Any thoughts?
Any thoughts?
I think it's important, not just for the congregation, but for all the groups that meet here.
Right.
That
That's-
they have
Right.
access to it.
That's why I suggested it. That's why I invited Paul, because I thought it was important. Just as I said at our clubhouse, we had one in the clubhouse area where you first come in. We have never used it, but we feel better that it's there. And as I said, we added one at our pool area because one of our newest residents had a heart attack and died because nobody knew what to do. They all froze. And the thing is, I liked his idea about we need to have a team we need to plan and has to be more than one of us that knows what to do. So, because any given Sunday, who knows who's available or any given day in the week. And I did reach out to find information about a CPR class so that we could offer that to anybody. Unfortunately, there is no class for free. Nobody's doing it for free. Team Life was expensive. And, I found two classes that are what I consider sort of affordable. One is through the county. It's through Tom's River. I don't know what that is, Oceanside CPR, and that one is $50 a person. And then in our village, every couple years, we do a CPR class, and this one we're doing, this, I think it's $25. Materials from the American Heart Association, and we will practice on CPR dummies. It's not a certification course, because if you want to be certified, it costs more money. But, I can get a person from either place and get more information for another meeting.
Stephanie,
Yes,
I think it's a good idea to have one because
right,
you never know.
I agree.
It's a great thing. But adding up the cost, approximately it's $2,200.
Right.
Adds in the unit. The ECW willing to do that?
Yes, that's what I said. We can cover that cost. Mhm.
No, I didn't hear about the battery.
Well, the battery and the pads that he was talking about were replaced, right? The battery
Right.
comes, I mean, it's not like we have to pay 2,200
No,
together.
it would
with
be the
unit.
the 16, whatever he said, plus the case. So I think the 1695, and then he said the case would be about $170. So you're talking 1770 more or less, something like that. And I know in our village, the machine does tell you when you got to replace the pads. We have
He
done
did
that.
say that.
We've done that, so, but that's minor, $70, $80 is minor compared to the 1770. So I don't know if you want me to make a motion that ECW would be willing to pay for the,
We have a motion.
well, okay.
Oh,
So,
Motion on the floor, and we're already in discussion. So
okay,
when discussion concludes, we'll vote on the issue.
all right. Any other discussion from anyone? I guess not, Father Paul.
Okay, the motion is to approve the purchase of the unit for the church so that we start into the 4-month process to get it here, and that the ECW has volunteered to pay the cost of the unit. So the motion is to purchase it and have the ECW cover the cost. Do we have we've had a move and a second already. So now we just vote on the issue. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So ordered. Okay, that's passed through. So what's next?
Just so you know, Joanne has an appointment, medical appointment, and she is leaving us at 11 a.m.
It's
She
11
has to
a.m. now.
Tom's River and Freehold.
It is 11 a.m. now, so,
Yes,
Yeah, she's leaving.
yeah, so she's leaving.
oh, okay.
Just wanted to alert you.
Somebody taking up the minutes for her, please?
Yeah, Joanne is right next
Not
to you.
me, the other Joanne.
Joanne Smithson.
Oh, I
It's Joanne
apologize.
Soriano that had to leave.
I apologize.
That's quite all right.
No, let's,
Go back to the rest of my report then. I am doing, of course, the usual things with Greg with the bulletins and text stuff and chimes and all that. And we're very grateful to Greg. He did an outstanding job all through Lent creating. I figured out it was over 100 PowerPoints, and we had a lot of bulletins that Holy Week and so on. So, and he's not feeling 100%, and he still managed to accomplish everything for us. I just think he should be commended for that. We did have a finance committee meeting, as I said before, and the we did work out a budget and information, and then on Sunday, you'll hear the entire report. I noticed that the first aid kits need a little bit replenishing. We discovered we're running out of Band-Aids and Tylenol and ibuprofen, so I will check them and make sure that they're refilled. The ECW purchased a new coffee urn. We have the need for 4 of them for our teas, and in January, the one just died. So Barbara Marshall actually helped me by doing some research for me since she's home-based, and the coffee urn was purchased, ECW covering that, and it's sitting in the closet right now. We also helped out with buying 2 benches for the Memorial Garden for Pets. We had met, the Memorial Garden for Pets Committee met, and we purchased screens at Lowe's. In both cases, we were able to get substantial discounts. We had letters from the church. Lowe's was very, very generous. They gave us 4 of them for free. And one they greatly discounted. And then I have the tax exempt form, and I have a credit card at Lowe's, so we got a 5% discount on top of that. The benches too are well, they were on sale, and then a discount and the tax exempt form, so greatly reduced there also. And for those of you who don't know where it's located, if you go outside the kitchen, it's over here, so that it's opposite the other one. And we're working on flyers at this point and forms, and we hope to be ready later in May. We will be adding a statue of Saint Christopher, who watches over animals. And then we're going to talk about perhaps some plants there as well. But just so you're not surprised when you go out there, the screen is covering because the view is of the machines or the equipment that does the we call it
Air conditioning.
it with the air, no, with the air, not the air.
Solar panels.
conditioning is big a deal. It was the
Solar panels.
gas and electric meters. And so we're trying to hide that so that people have a more kind of pleasant atmosphere, you know, kind of a thing. So I just wanted to update you on that. ECW is having, we only have 3 meetings a year, but our next meeting is June 1st at 1 p.m. and we will have the speaker from Providence House. This is the lady that was here when we did the Christmas tree lighting. And Marge and I went up to her and asked if she would be willing to come back and talk about Providence House. I put an article in the Chimes because if anybody could donate paper towels or laundry detergent, she said that would be appreciated, and gift cards, any amount for gas or for the supermarket. I've scheduled another AARP safe driving class. We evidently are very popular. I hope we have a lot more safe drivers out there, but that'll be our 3rd one here at the church. This one will be on Tuesday, June the 6th. And yes, the 9 to 1.
Shall put that into the. press release.
Yes.
But people are contacting me, especially from 5, there are costs for that.
I provided that information. AARP requests $20 of people if you're a member and $25 if you're not. The teacher basically does the class for free, but AARP requires that, and then you get a certificate which comes in triplicate. So you give one to your insurance company. Most insurance companies give a discount. That varies by insurance company. Some of them do it when you renew. Some do it for 3 years, some for 5. And, you know, some just automatically do it without even, you know, they assume you're taking the class. So, you know, you have to check your company, because people ask me that question. I said, well, I don't know what your insurance company does, you know, but it was very hard to find a teacher. It took me a whole year. And this gentleman has a different spin on how he does it. I've taken this class every 3 years, many times, and he doesn't do a video presentation. He does it all practical advice and suggestions. You do get a manual, So I think part of that cost goes for that manual. It has updated every year. So it's loaded with lots of information and pictures and the whole back is all resources and all places you can find out other information. And in the past, they brought a copy of the latest manual from New Jersey, but this gentleman didn't do that. But you can always, it's always fun to contact the Department of Motor Vehicle to get that, that's another experience for another day. I've been working with Bill on public relations. I don't know if you want to add anything to the public relations. Okay, and the Legacy Summit, which was Bill's idea, which is this Saturday. You want to explain?
Yeah, no, Saturday's gonna be a big day. Have a 6 panelist slate lined up, including Father. And they'll talk for anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes apiece, starting at around 10 o'clock. The team will be here about 8, between 8 and 9, just to get everything ready to go. And the first part of the session will last about an hour or so, combining all the panelists, and then we'll have a break for lunch. Then we'll come back and then people will be able to speak one-on-one with the panelists and vendors that'll be in the narthex. And we'll have 4 vendors in addition to the panelists that are coming. And it should be a very, very worthy event. We hope the ultimate goal is that people will consider leaving something to the church. And that's the general theme of it, to stick with legacy, book planning, and estate planning. And then the panelists can go off on their own tangent and talk about their own profession, their own business, as it pertains to this thing.
It was very easy to get these people to do this. They were very honored to be asked.
Well, yeah,
And they were very pleased because they are bringing their business part and information. And then if anybody wants to go to them, you're welcome to do that. We also have flyers. Oh, that's the other thing. There are flyers. Right now, we have over 50 people signed up.
Yeah.
From the community and church.
Yeah, they don't, unless you say don't get signed up. We're hoping for a strong turnout. Like I said, the goal is for people to do something for the church.
The committee prepared like a folder like this that everybody can take home, and it has pockets in it so you can put items in it, all the handouts. The one gentleman is the one that came here in the past from Senior Moments. He talks about Social Security, disability, and Medicare. And we are going to invite him back in the fall, all by himself, to do a separate talk for those people that need that. Then we probably will be creating down the road a Legacy Society. Bill, you want to talk about the June 4th event? And I'll pass these out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it for later. We're gonna pass this around. June 4th is another big day for this church, we hope. We're planning a family fun day, a dance spectacular. We got a DJ who was at our clubhouse's St. Patrick's Day event to be the DJ, and he's a very nominal fee-based DJ. He's very good, very flamboyant, very personal, gets involved and tries to be part of the crowd. And, he plays God Bless America as part of his repertoire, and he honors the veterans. He's a very decent guy. We're hoping that he agreed to come play at the church. He's charging $300 for 4 hours. And the thing is, Steph and I think Bob would help
And
to donate
covering
the money. And it's a free event, but it is gonna have a free will offering involved for anybody that wants to make donations to the church or to the cause. And we're gonna have a treasure auction, a free luncheon, and an opportunity just to try to bring in new families. That's the ultimate thing, the theme of this is to try to get new people in this church and hopefully to stay with us. People could dance to their heart's content for 4 hours. It is labeled as a dance, and we're hoping if it goes well, we can have them back again someday. Hopefully it'll be a good thing to do for this church, try and get something to people.
We had brought it up at the last Vestry meeting, and then we did a phone vote, and everybody was very gracious in getting back to us that you were all supportive of it. you know, we do need some help with serving and some of the food items. The committee met yesterday and planned what they want to do. So they decided to zero in on hot dogs and baked beans and salads, and a couple of the committee members volunteered to either make or buy whatever. So, you know, we would put out a plea if anybody would be willing to donate some items or donate cash, and, you know, I'll be happy to go shopping. And we decided for dessert to have ice cream and then brownies and cookies. And then we would provide water, juice boxes, some soda and iced tea.
Yeah, the reason why we picked June 4th too is because Louis has a very busy schedule, DJ. And he didn't have a lot of dates available that were appropriate for the do this kind of event, for the particular time. So we took June 4th because it was an open date, and he agreed to come play. Yeah, it's a great opportunity.
And that'll be in place of coffee hour that day too. So nobody has to sign up for coffee hour. We've got that covered.
The articles went in the paper. We invited the new families to come to the 10 o'clock service. So hopefully this is a big service.
And just as the Legacy Summit, we're asking people to call the church, so we have a ballpark idea how many people to prepare for. Because, you know, it's one thing if 20 people say they're coming and 22 show up, but if 20 people say they're coming and 100 show up, then we're, you know, we don't have enough food, we don't have enough room, whatever. So we figure we can put 200 people in here, but we'll see. Unless anybody has a question, that's my report.
Stephanie, you said when you were talking about the pet interments.
Yes.
You said you were getting a statue of Saint Christopher? Didn't
No,
you?
St. Francis.
Yeah, I was wondering about
You
that.
said Saint Christopher, though.
Oh, I
You
meant St. Francis, I'm sorry. Yeah, Roberta is getting the statue, she's donating it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it will come in May, that's why we're hopeful by the end of May to have everything in place so that we can start accepting you know, cremated pets and Father Paul will
Reservations.
do a service.
Yes. Okay, well, that's great. But okay, we have a motion to accept the Rector's Warden's report.
Motion.
Second? Is there a second?
Second,
I don't think you can
I
second
know
your.
it's Peter seconded, but you
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
hear him.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. All righty, next item on the agenda is the Fellowship and Fundraising Committee.
No, property warden.
I'm sorry, my phone went off again. The property warden, so let's see what he has to say. Peter?
The church is falling apart.
Jeez.
That's a great segue.
I guess we've had an invasion of critters, again, which I thought would have fixed, but, you know, these things are probably gonna happen continuously. I have the guy that I had to do it last time, is no longer available, at least for right now, so. If anybody knows somebody that does that sort of thing, we could get them on board for that. But, it's not like terrible. I think what happens is nest of squirrels move back into where they used to be up in the corner of the church. In Father Paul's office.
Hmm.
The little
Yes, I
company.
can smell them.
Yeah, they know where to go. Must be free lunch over there or something.
Also, I noticed that the men's room is temporarily out of order.
Hmm.
Well,
Which
if you
one?
go in there, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I don't know, somebody tried to unclog the toilet, but didn't work, appears, and it's all over.
Wow. Which one? Is it the one?
This one here,
in
the
the-
one we normally.
in the
use,
north there?
So, yeah, for right now, I'll have to use it.
Hmm.
Whoever worked on it tried to fix it, using a plunger and also one of those things you pump up. You know, blasters,
Hmm,
nothing to do to work.
hmm.
So worst comes to worst, when it's call a plumber. Unless somebody has a better idea.
You checked with Tom O'Brien, because we've had this before.
Oh, yeah. Anybody
Yeah.
has a septic system,
You have snake?
I don't have
Yeah.
it with me.
Well, Fogarty has been our plumber in the past. He was the one that originally took care of the plumbing when the place was built. Yeah,
it's everybody.
Rich
Yeah.
says he'll try to snake it out.
Yeah,
give it a shot.
He has a
Well,
snake.
okay, so we'll try that if we need help, you know.
Yeah.
All I can do is fail.
Worse than the result can't be any worse than it is now.
That is true. I have a suggestion with the critters, not that it's gonna help by Father Paul's office, but I think these two bushes, trees, whatever they are, should be removed right down to the ground, because every time we have a meeting here, I watch those squirrels wandering around, and they're not stupid. They go up there and go all the way around to the other side of the
Yeah, there are also
building.
highways for ants. too.
That's true. So I think we should cut them down to the ground, get rid of them.
Well, maybe we should get something that's a little shorter
Handle it.
and more, because you don't want to have a blank space there.
Well, we could replace with, low bushes or something.
Yeah, that's what I was, that's what I meant, yeah. That'll be good.
Well, I mean, these are just things that everybody encounters, their houses and everything else. And you plant them not with the idea that they look like that. It's nice and small. It's never happened.
Well-
Oh, yeah, we can come down. I think I can get my son over here to come down.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you.
My, like, that, stuff like that. I'll cut my hand off.
Yes, I think that's a very wise choice on their side.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
I can't find it. Okay, what else? I guess that's it. I'm aware of most of the shortcomings in the what needs replacement, but sometimes it's a matter of
I know.
somebody that's capable of doing it.
I understand. Do you have any more update on the security?
No, still working on it.
Mhm.
This is the type of thing, like the security, if they came and put one in, they'd insist those things.
Hmm,
Can't offer aid and protection to somebody who's maybe breaking into the church. And you got things like that, are disability,
hmm.
the wise idea to get rid of that,
Oh, yeah.
so we're working on that too. Yes, that's it.
Okey-doke. Anybody have any questions for the property warden?
No, but I noticed when I was out cutting the grass on Saturday, I just happened to come across the sprinkler system,
Oh,
the supply line leaking like a sieve.
I hope it's not because of that fence that got put in.
So I turned it off. I didn't have anything to fix it with.
Is it right there where it transitions from PVC to,
Yep,
well, that's what was leaking before,
well, it's leaking again, it's pouring out.
no, dear.
it may be completely redone. There's so many different.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Jim hooked it up or somebody hooked, I didn't put the hose back on, but
I think I did.
could at least check the hose and see if it's tightened up or whatever.
I had to go to Home Depot and buy some fittings to fit that.
Okay,
Anyway, right now, I just have it turned off.
okay. All righty,
So we don't burn up our pump.
we trust you guys to handle that. It's something you're pretty familiar with. Hey, so we have a motion to accept the property warden's report.
Motion to accept.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Okay, thank you. What do we have?
now
next?
scholarship and fundraising.
Now it's fellowship and fundraising.
We had the Queen Esther DVD that was from Sight and Sound. It was just like you were sitting in the theater in the seat, looking at it. It was well done. And we had 15 people that came. I didn't expect to make any money, but we made $43 on it. And there's interest because a couple people signed up but missed it. So we hope to repeat it in the fall, probably on a morning. People did not feel 10 o'clock on a Saturday was a good choice. So, and then we could show it, in the fall or next spring, either early evening or, another day of the week. And there was interest in seeing other movies of that kind or other DVDs. So we have other sight and sound productions, we have other DVDs, so we can always talk about that in the future. Of course, May 7th is the blessing of the bikes. May 18th is the first English tea, which of course is sold out. I'm in progress on organizing that. June 4th is the dance we talked about. And I switched places with Queen Esther and the dollar auction. The dollar auction got moved further out to June 24th. Tom Larson needs some brand new items. He has only a handful of items right now. That's why he moved it out, because he needs more. Otherwise, you can't have a dollar auction for like 4 items. And I spoke yesterday to Jay Bush for the bluegrass blueberry in July. And his brother-in-law, and we're all set for that. We've got the band in place for free, but we just provide them with the blueberries. That's it. They're happy. So that's what I'm filling in for, the chair's report on that one.
Mhm. Okay. Any questions about fellowship and fundraising? Motion to accept,
Make a motion.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
So ordered. Okay, now, old business. Do we have any old business?
I think we covered a lot of it.
I think you probably did too, yeah.
I just wanted, there are 2 things.
Oh,
that I wanna
Susan.
mention.
Yeah, Susan needs to speak.
First thing, I think everybody already knows, but let's put it in the minutes. The Bishop's Gala. They sold out tickets a month before the reservation deadline. There are no tickets to be had. I will only say one word about their planning process. And that word is poor.
That's being nice.
Mm,
And the other thing I wanted to touch base on was the way to St. Paul.
Hmm.
I have emailed 2 different people 3 times over the last month since our last meeting. I have gotten, the one response that I got was, I'll work with Canon Drosty, I think is how to pronounce it.
Frosty, yes.
And we should have a coach for you within a week. Well, that week ended on Good Friday, so I wasn't really counting on it happening that week or the week after, but now we're a week beyond that and we still haven't gotten a response. I'm becoming very, very frustrated with the apparent collapse of the communication infrastructure in Trenton. And these are only 2 things that I'm trying to track various people down. And are you familiar with the phrase whistling in the wind?
Yes.
It's very distressing. And the people that, of course, that you used to be able to call on the phone and get some direction are all retiring.
Mhm.
And you call their phone number and nobody's answering. Not the person themselves or anybody else.
I had a similar thing because for ECW, I chair the Women of Honor event. And I emailed several times. And on the 4th time, I finally got a response back. It was held up because they're waiting for the new bishop to be installed and in place. But can I tell you, that's the answer I got.
This is the downside of dealing with church offices.
Mhm.
Because church offices think that we live in a 1 day a week world. And we all live in a 24/7, 365 world. We can't wait
No,
6 months for them to figure out.
right. With the Bishop's Gala, because we could not have a table, I responded to the section on that email that said that you could put your name in to have it on Zoom. And so there again, no response. I went back and they said it was too early for them to put you on that list. So I just figured, you wanted to get on the list ahead of time so they don't forget you. So it's yet to be.
I
but
was
we
going
can see
to,
it
I
on
was
Zoom.
going to suggest that we do that as a parish. We could
Yeah.
set up the large screen TV and invite people to come over. The whole, the broadcast part of it, I believe, is only an hour and a half long. So we could have people gather here and get a chance to hear the honorary speeches and that kind of stuff. And then afterwards, we could have some refreshments right here in the parish.
We did that with Queen Esther. What we did was, Bill had a DVD player. We used the projector that ECW bought a few years ago, and we put it on the screen here in the middle of the parish house. And that way we had it much larger, and then, people could really see it. And we can do that again.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah,
And the other,
Let's see how many people are interested in doing it, and then let's get our reservation in to get the connection.
the Zoom. Well, I'm already on it. I could just tell Steve Welch to change it to the church instead of to my, I guess it would be mine, right? It would be this computer anyway, because it would come to my computer.
Okay, it's fine. No
Yeah.
problem.
Susan, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
the last thing, Father Paul mentioned on Sunday. That if we wanted to put together a note or a card or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
for the Newmans. Or for the Speaks, that he would be happy to deliver them when he visits on Wednesday. And. For once, my synapse is fired in order. And I brought cards that we can all sign if we want to, as a group.
That's very nice. Thank
So
you.
And it just says for dear Bernice and Herb. And the other one says dear Fred and Janet. And you just put any sentiment you want in there. Pleasant.
No.
We don't
Any
want
pleasant
to-
sentiment, yes.
That's because it says, you know, we're glad you're not here anymore. Even for me, that would be.
That's good. That's a great idea, Susan. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other old business? Okay, new business. New business, going once?
I don't know if it's new business, but when we were just talking about the heart thing. I took the course in 2019 by the American Heart Association. You get a nice little card and
Right.
good course, that's what I'd go with.
I
And I
will
think
look
it's the most
into it.
economical one too.
Hmm.
As long as I can go get to the thing, I would like to get certified myself. That couldn't be hurtful at all.
Well, a couple decades ago, I worked at a child daycare center.
Me too.
And we had to take, because we took kids 6 weeks,
Mhm.
we had to take infant, child, and adult CPR. And the AED can only be used on adults.
I had an AED that had children's pads
Yeah.
also, but
Mm.
he didn't mention that.
I did the same thing you did because I was a director of a daycare center and a nursery school. And I had taken CPR at that time, and I took it in our village, but I think I need to be updated too.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll
As I
look
said,
into the American Heart one, and I'll come back the next meeting with more specifics on the CPR possibility.
It's the Red Cross Shield do that.
I
They
believe
did
they
decades
do.
ago.
They do. Used to cost $25, but that was a long time.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Everything has gone up. But I'll
Well,
look into
I-
it.
Except
I'm
my-
encouraged to see everybody so animated about getting it done. This will help keep our parishioners alive a little longer.
That's true.
I was doing a CPR course, no cost. You're not gonna get a card or anything, but it's a refresher, and it's done by some of the board
Right.
members.
Well, I tried calling the first aid squads and I got nowhere because according to their websites, it said they offer it. But I don't know why the phone numbers listed don't work. They don't get you the first aid squads. I guess I have to go through Manchester Township. I don't know.
Next step today, it was receiving.
Yeah, true. You have to bring it up today, never know. Maybe somebody knows something we don't know. You never
I'm
know.
not even gonna talk.
All righty. Any other new business? Then we'll move on to concerns, the questions or thoughts and concerns. And I can't see everybody that's there, but let's start with Stephanie and work our way counterclockwise around the circle.
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
Nothing.
I have something. Might seem a little personal, but it's something's beginning to really break on me. Other people who do things to the church, like Barbara Marshall buying the you call them. They get acknowledgement for it. And they Stephanie was talking about pets. Never mentioned the fact that I was the one to pick up all the pets.
Right.
I was the one that went and bought the fifth piece, and then I also did all the edging on the sidewalk. It's like, when it comes to that stuff, I don't exist.
Well, I apologize. I should have said it.
I accept the apology, but the point I'm trying to make is that it keeps happening, and I don't feel it should. It's like I'm a ghost. I'm around for when you need me, but outside that, Bob's not there.
Bob, I'm sorry you feel like that.
Not a ghost.
I'm sure no one's intentionally doing that.
Well, I
Uh,
think more people notice the things you do in the church than you realize.
That is
I
true.
think that,
And I don't think people always know who did it either.
Saying in a meeting like this, where other people are being acknowledged for what they're doing, anyone should,
Maybe.
that's all. And that's all I got to say.
Well, we all understand that now. We'll try and be more careful.
Mm.
Anything else, Bob?
No.
Okay, Susan?
Susan.
I don't have anything right now.
Okay, I can't see who's to the left. I guess it's
Richard.
Richard and Joanne.
Nothing.
Hey, everybody had a turn, Father Paul.
That's good. My only thing is, like I said, pray for my wife. Pray that things get better so we don't have as much anxiety going on around here. It's not easy to handle right now. And today, let's see, tomorrow's Tuesday. We're in the office tomorrow, and then I'm down in Stone Harbor. And then Wednesday is when we need, if you know anybody else who has a card or a note they'd like to send, make sure they have it into the office by first thing Wednesday morning so that we can put them in little bags for each of the families and take them up with us. Okay. Susan, you're sitting there. Time for you to close out.
One thing, the date for the next Vestry meeting is May 22nd. It's a week earlier than usual because of Memorial Day,
Yes.
just so everybody, checks their calendar.
Okay, thank you.
Won't be here. Okay, awesome.
All righty. Gonna pray us out, Susan?
Sure. Is it, Bill, was that something that we needed to have in the meeting? You were saying something,
I
Steph.
think we'll be.
No, we're here on May 22nd. Mhm.
Okay. Then let's give ourselves a few moments of silence so that we can center ourselves into where we are and what we do. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the wonderful gifts that you give us every day. We thank you for the gifts that you continue to give, even when we don't recognize them. even when we don't acknowledge them. We know that your abundance of blessing to call out from us an abundance of thanks. And it is a measure of our sinfulness, that isn't always the way we respond. We thank you for the beautiful day that we have today. We thank you for the good hearts of all those who are gathered here. We thank you for the willingness that we all share to serve in your name and to your honor. We raise up your servants Priscilla, Greg, Mary, Bill, who are in special need of your healing touch. And we ask that you watch between us as we go our separate ways today. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All righty, thank you, everybody. And before you ask, I can't go out to lunch today.
We were coming to your house.
Oh, right, well, I'm in my daughter's actually at Anna's.
That would have been a surprise all around.
Yes. All righty. Well, thank you all for coming out though and taking care of business. And I will see
You got the meeting?
Yes,
Susan and Stephanie tomorrow morning in my office.
very good. Yeah, I look forward to it. Thanks.
I'm gonna try and be there by 9, Steph.
Good.
See how
Terrific.
that works out. Okay? Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. God bless you.
You too.
Thank you, Joanne. Great job. I find with the computer facing outward, I can't hear it as well as
I
when it
had
faces
to
me.
come over here.
I know.
Wait here.
The hearing, it was.
I got it up as high as it goes. It's at 100.
And maybe he needed to turn his up, but then again, that might have
Waking the baby up. I think he was using his quiet voice.
As a teacher, you know about those indoor voices.
I do
don't you?
that, yes. Doesn't happen.
I didn't, wasn't something that I did often.
Yeah.
I really don't use my usually voice, so.
I use my loud voice.
I was so,
My outdoor voice. So
yeah, I was, I thought about this about 15 minutes before I left the house, and then called and said, listen, you have the reading card ministry.
I do. Want to sincerely apologize about, I did not. I tried to go out and Mark just helped me order it, but she didn't actually, pay for it. I'm sorry. Because my mind was going as fast as I could for all the stuff with the Memorial Garden. And I want to write a special article in the Times, because without your help, we wouldn't have. We wouldn't have this, pet cemetery, we really wouldn't. You had a lot of good ideas for it. Like Jolene said, a lot of people have no idea you're doing what you do wherever you do it, but we see the result of it. So you are very much valued and appreciated. We thank you so much. God bless us with your presence here. We're so glad that, buddy lets a party once in a while.
That was something I was just thinking about this in the cases of both of these ladies. We should be thanking their husbands for bring them with us.
You never believe it. I noticed Kay never came.
She called.
Oh, she called?
Yes, I was in the office. Leaving a message for myself about, I visited Bill and Dottie yesterday, and I wanted to put it in the book, but I can't, because I know I have some pastoral visits from put in before. And so I left myself a note and she called on.
Wow. Because most people, like Dottie contacted me and Joanne's brought up with me yesterday, the other Joanne, before, sorry about that. Seems to be, I don't know what to do. I have this, I do very important test I have to do. And she said, I think I can stay till about 11. I said, that's fine, you know.
Speaking of tests, they pushed it back to 10:45.
Okay, so they can start with us at 9, before you have to be there early.
Well, I know I was supposed to be, if I leave here. I would have to leave here at 9:45. Which is kind of. Would you prefer that I do that, come at 9 and stay, leave in time to go get the test?
I think that, you know, your help was
Personally, I think the two.
do it without, that's what I was gonna say.
So what I would say, thank you, is, why don't, I'll call them later today and I'll say, just start without me,
Yeah,
because I'm hoping, they said to me, call later in the day and see if we get cancellation and we'll push in earlier.
but the thing is, I don't know how much prep time we need for that kind of a thing. But I.
Well, between 7 and 8 tonight, I have to drink 1 bottle of the contrast medium, and then I have to finish the bottle tomorrow, 45 minutes before the test. Oh,
So then you're busy enough, you don't need it. I would just.
Pay was here, Dottie, Sheila.
Yeah, Dottie and Sheila and then, you know what I was puzzled about? Were we supposed to make an official motion to accept Richard in Barbara's
maybe.
place? That's what I thought. I wondered about that.
Oh, Too late.
Yes.
I suppose we can motion it next
I
time.
have one,
We didn't
okay.
but
vote
what
on
we
it.
have to.
I mean, he didn't
the
vote on it.
protocol has
I know.
to be here,
We can motion it next time.
video.